In a roaring inferno of flames and smoke, one defiant Mustang emerges, its eyes burning with a secret that challenges the very forces of nature. The twilight had barely surrendered to the encroaching night when the forest began to stir with an uneasy murmur. Nestled deep within ancient groves, where towering pines and time-worn oaks once stood as guardians of a silent world, a primal energy awakened. The leaves, brushed by the delicate hand of dusk, quivered with anticipation. An almost imperceptible tremor rippled through the undergrowth, a foreshadowing of calamity that was soon to transform serenity into chaos. Tonight, every breath of wind carried whispers of destiny, and every flicker of light danced upon the edge of oblivion. In the heart of this venerable woodland roamed a creature whose very existence had become a myth among those who revered nature's wild beauty, a Mustang of incomparable spirit and grace. Its coat, a tapestry of deep chestnut interwoven with streaks of silver, glowed as if lit from within by a mysterious ember. Abandoned by those who once sought to tame its untamable soul, the Mustang had grown accustomed to solitude and the relentless rhythm of the wilderness. It was a creature forged by hardship and triumph alike, a living testament to the unyielding power of instinct and freedom. On that fateful evening, the Mustang ambled along a narrow trail bordered by ancient ferns and dew-kissed moss. Each measured step resonated with quiet determination, as though it carried not merely a physical journey but an emotional odyssey rooted in survival. The forest, usually a realm of gentle murmurs and dappled light, now hummed with tension. An almost tangible charge clung to the air. The distant murmur of a crackling sound, like the first tremors of a storm, began to crescendo into a forewarning symphony. Soon, the ground beneath its hooves vibrated with the pulse of a world about to be set ablaze. As the sky overhead transformed from muted blues and purples to a tempest of fiery reds and oranges, the Mustang paused at the edge of a clearing. There, the horizon was consumed by a luminous blaze that cast long, erratic shadows across the land. The scent of smoke mingled with the damp, earthy aroma of rain-soaked leaves, a potent reminder that nature, in all its beauty, harbored an unyielding ferocity. The flames advanced like spectral dancers in a macabre ballet, their undulating movement both mesmerizing and terrifying. In that charged moment, the Mustang's eyes widened with a dawning realization. The forest was no longer a sanctuary but a battlefield where life and death would engage in a relentless duel. Memories, faint and fragmented, began to echo in the recesses of its mind, images of a time when it was not alone, when gentle hands and soft voices spoke of loyalty and belonging. Yet, even as those recollections shimmered like distant stars, they were swiftly eclipsed by the immediacy of the present danger. The Mustang's heartbeat thrummed in perfect synchrony with the rhythm of the approaching inferno. There was no time for lamentation or regret. Only the raw, unfiltered drive to survive propelled its every muscle. The instinct, honed over countless seasons of solitude and trial, surged forth like a tidal wave of purpose. It was as if the very soul of the forest had imbued this wild steed with a secret, a key to escaping even the most voracious of flames. The first tongues of fire crept along the forest floor, igniting brittle twigs and dry leaves with unrelenting fervor. With a final glance toward the path it had once known, the Mustang bolted into the darkness, its powerful legs churning up the earth in a desperate bid to outrun the encroaching doom. The crackling inferno roared in its wake, a cacophonous chorus of nature's wrath that threatened to consume everything in its path. Yet, amid the chaos and the clamor of collapsing order, the Mustang moved with a grace that belied the turmoil surrounding it, a dance of defiance etched into every sinew and heartbeat. Each stride was a battle against time, as the searing heat and billowing smoke clawed at its senses. The burning forest, once a tableau of life and quiet grandeur, had transformed into a hellish landscape of swirling embers and blistering winds. The Mustang's eyes, reflecting the tumultuous glow of the inferno, held a steely resolve. In that moment, it was not merely an animal fleeing from a raging wildfire, it was a solitary warrior challenging fate itself. The primal rhythm of its hooves against the scorched earth was a drumbeat of rebellion, a steadfast refusal to succumb to the inevitable. As the wild blaze gained momentum, the forest began to sing a mournful elegy. The air was heavy with the acrid stench of burning resin and charred bark, a scent that imprinted itself upon every fiber of existence. Even as the night deepened, the flames licked hungrily at the heavens, casting a hellish glow that rendered the world surreal. Amid this apocalyptic panorama, the Mustang's solitary journey became emblematic of nature's paradoxical blend of beauty and brutality. Every frenzied gallop was an ode to survival, every desperate maneuver a testament to the raw, unbridled force of instinct that refused to be snuffed out by even the most devastating of adversities. In the midst of the chaos, fragments of the Mustang's past shimmered like ghostly reflections in a shattered mirror. Once cherished by a compassionate soul who believed in the animal's wild majesty, the Mustang had known the warmth of gentle companionship, a time when its spirit soared unburdened by abandonment. Yet, as the years folded into one another and the scars of neglect deepened, it had learned that freedom, though often cruel, was the only true inheritance. Now, facing the seething fury of a wildfire that threatened to erase every memory and every hope, the Mustang embraced its solitude as both shield and strength. The whispers of the past melded with the roar of the present, forging a singular resolve, to harness an ancient survival secret that lay dormant within, waiting for this crucible to awaken its fullest power. As the inferno drew nearer, the landscape itself seemed to transform. Trees, once proud and resolute, bent in submission to the scorching heat. The delicate balance of life and decay teetered on the precipice, each moment pregnant with both peril and promise. The Mustang, guided by an unspoken connection to the land, navigated a labyrinth of burning logs and collapsing boughs. Its every sense was attuned to the subtleties of the chaos, a stray ember gliding on the breeze, the faint rustle of leaves before they succumbed to flame, the distant cry of a creature caught in the tempest of destruction. In this crucible of calamity, the Mustang discovered that its survival was not merely a matter of speed or instinct, but of understanding the very language of the wild. The fire, though merciless, revealed patterns and paths that were hidden beneath the veneer of normalcy. With each leap and bound, the creature uncovered an unspoken dialogue between the elements, a secret choreography that dictated when to run, when to hide, and when to confront the relentless march of destiny. It was a dance of life and death, performed on a stage set by nature's own hand, and the Mustang was both its principal dancer and its most ardent audience. Under the relentless assault of heat and flame, the Mustang's breath came in ragged intervals, a steady cadence echoing the pulse of the earth itself. Yet within those labored breaths lay a quiet defiance, a promise to endure, to outlast the inferno that threatened to erase every vestige of its past. The burning forest was not merely a trial of physical endurance, it was a crucible for the soul, a moment when the fragile boundaries between life and oblivion blurred into insignificance. And in that luminous, terrifying moment, the Mustang's eyes shone with a resolute clarity, a silent vow that no matter the cost, the secret of its survival would be preserved, a beacon of hope amidst the consuming darkness. Every instinct, every memory of a time when freedom was both a gift and a curse, converged in a single, unyielding purpose. The Mustang's journey through the fiery labyrinth was not simply an escape from a raging inferno, it was a pilgrimage towards a destiny that defied the cruelty of abandonment and the caprice of fate. With the forest ablaze around it and the forces of nature conspiring in a dance of destruction, the Mustang pressed onward. Each powerful stride carried it further from the remnants of a past marred by neglect and closer to an unknown future where its secret, honed by years of solitary struggle, would one day astonish even the most cynical hearts. The night deepened and the flames roared with an almost sentient hunger. Shadows of the past and present converged upon the blazing path, and in that convergence lay the promise of transformation. The Mustang, alone yet unbowed, became the embodiment of a primal truth, that even in the heart of devastation, life could forge a path to redemption. And so, as the inferno raged and the world around it succumbed to chaos, the Mustang ran, not just for survival, but for the revelation of a secret so profound that it would leave everyone, human and beast alike, utterly speechless. The inferno's roar continued to echo in the distance as the Mustang surged onward, each powerful stride carrying it deeper into a landscape where fire and fate intertwined. With every gallop, the searing heat pressed against its flanks and the acrid smoke clouded its vision, yet the creature's resolve remained unyielding. In the chaotic symphony of crackling embers and howling winds, the Mustang began to discern a subtle order amid the apparent anarchy, a silent language of survival that had been etched into its very soul over countless seasons of solitude. As it raced through the charred remnants of what had once been a vibrant forest, the Mustang encountered a vast clearing where the land lay scarred and broken. Here, the trees stood as skeletal sentinels, their limbs twisted and burned, reaching futilely toward a sky choked with ash. The ground, cracked and fissured by the relentless heat, exhaled bursts of sulphurous vapor with each tremor of the earth. Yet, even in this desolation, the Mustang sensed hidden pathways, a series of subtle shifts in the texture of the burnt earth and the gentle murmur of a cooling ember that hinted at a safe passage. Pausing briefly, the creature's dark, soulful eyes swept across the desolate expanse. In that suspended moment, the memories of gentler days, when soft voices and tender caresses had once defined its existence, surged forth. It recalled the warm, reassuring hands of a compassionate soul who had once cared for it, a memory now mingled with the bitter taste of abandonment. However, these recollections, while poignant, did not anchor the Mustang in sorrow. Instead, they fanned the embers of a fierce determination. The painful past had carved into it a secret strength, a primal wisdom that whispered of hope even in the midst of despair. Compelled by an inner voice older than time itself, the Mustang resumed its desperate sprint. A sudden violent gust of wind swept across the clearing, sending a flurry of embers spiraling into the darkening sky. For an instant, the world seemed to freeze, the chaotic ballet of flames and shadows pausing as if in reverence to the unspoken promise of survival. In that fragile pause, the Mustang stood motionless, every sense attuned to the subtle vibrations of the earth. It was as though the very spirit of the forest, resilient and enduring, was urging it to trust the path hidden within the devastation. With the wind subsiding, the creature bolted forward again, its hooves drumming an urgent cadence on the cracked soil. Ahead, a chasm of scorched earth yawned like a gaping wound in the landscape. The Mustang hesitated only for a heartbeat before leaping across the void, its powerful legs propelling it with both grace and determination. In mid-air, time seemed to dilate as the creature's mind flashed with visions of past struggles and quiet triumphs, a montage of survival etched into every muscle fiber. The leap was not merely an act of physical prowess, it was an affirmation of life's tenacity in the face of overwhelming odds. Landing with a resonant thud on the other side, the Mustang found itself in a narrow, rugged corridor framed by remnants of ancient trees that still clung to life. The air here was different, less acrid, with a faint, almost imperceptible fragrance of damp earth and renewal. Amid the smoldering ruins, delicate shoots of green struggled to pierce the ashen cover, a silent testament to nature's relentless drive to reclaim what was lost. It was in this transient interlude between destruction and rebirth that the Mustang felt the stirring of its deepest secret, a latent power that had lain dormant until now. Navigating this precarious passage, the Mustang's every step became a dialogue with the land. The once blazing inferno had revealed a pattern, a labyrinth of natural cues and hidden markers that guided the animal like a mentor from ages past. The soft rustle of surviving leaves, the gentle tremor of the ground, and even the whisper of the wind through the skeletal branches combined to form a coded message. It was a language not of words but of instinct, one that told the creature when to quicken its pace and when to slow, when to leap over obstacles and when to pause in quiet reflection. As the corridor narrowed further, the Mustang sensed that it was nearing a turning point, a juncture where the forces of nature and destiny converged. The fiery glow from behind was gradually giving way to an otherworldly luminescence emanating from a distant grove. This unexpected light, soft yet unmistakably real, beckoned like a beacon in the darkness. It was as if the grove itself harbored a secret, an ancient sanctuary untouched by the rampant fury of the wildfire. Drawn by this spectral promise, the Mustang shifted its course, leaving behind the haunting clamor of the burning forest for a trail lit by an almost mystical radiance. The transition was both physical and emotional. With every stride toward the grove, the heat of the flames receded, replaced by a cooler, more forgiving embrace. The air grew denser with the scent of petrichor, a subtle promise of rain or renewal, blending with the lingering notes of smoke. In this suspended space, the Mustang's mind began to quiet, its inner turmoil giving way to a focused clarity. The secret that had driven its flight was stirring now, resonating in harmony with the gentle murmur of the grove. It was a secret born of years of isolation, of battles fought in silence against a world that had once been both cruel and tender. Upon entering the grove, the Mustang was enveloped by an almost surreal serenity. Tall, resilient trees, their bark scarred but unbowed, formed a protective canopy overhead. Shafts of moonlight pierced through the foliage, casting silvered patterns on the forest floor. In the midst of this tranquil refuge, the Mustang paused and looked back one last time at the chaos it had left behind. The raging inferno, now a distant, flickering memory, was a stark reminder of the fragility of life, and the extraordinary lengths to which one must go to preserve it. Here, in the gentle embrace of the grove, the Mustang's internal journey took center stage. The rhythmic beating of its heart echoed the timeless cadence of the wilderness. It was in this quiet interlude that the creature allowed itself a moment of introspection, recalling the many trials that had led it to this very point. Every scar, every singed memory, and every fleeting encounter with both beauty and brutality converged into a singular narrative, a story of survival and transformation that was as ancient as the land itself. In this sacred silence, the Mustang felt a subtle shift within, a deep, resonant stirring of an inner power. The secret that had propelled it through the inferno was not merely an instinct for flight, but an extraordinary connection to the primal forces of nature. It was as if the very essence of the forest had been woven into its being, granting it the ability to read the language of the wild. The Mustang's eyes, reflecting the soft glow of moonlight and the timeless wisdom of the grove, shone with a clarity that belied the turmoil of recent moments. In that luminous gaze was the promise of something profound, a revelation that would not only ensure its survival but also transform the very understanding of life in the wild. Yet, even within the sanctuary of the grove, the danger was not entirely vanquished. The Mustang knew that the Wildfire, though momentarily behind, was an ever-present force, a relentless adversary that could rekindle its fury at any moment. The fragile peace of the grove was tempered by the awareness of what lay beyond its protective borders. Every rustle of leaves and every distant rumble of shifting earth was a reminder that nature was both benevolent and savage, a duality that the Mustang had learned to navigate with a cautious grace. Emboldened by its newfound clarity, the Mustang ventured deeper into the grove, its every step measured and deliberate. The interplay of light and shadow, the soft murmur of nocturnal creatures, and the lingering scent of renewal blended into an immersive tapestry of sensations. Here, amidst the interplay of darkness and light, the Mustang began to unravel the true nature of its secret, a secret that was not a mere trick of survival but a profound communion with the spirit of the wilderness. It was an unspoken understanding that the cycles of destruction and rebirth were intertwined, each feeding the other in an eternal dance that defied the boundaries of time and space. As the night wore on, the Mustang reached a clearing within the grove where the ground was carpeted with tender new shoots and wildflowers that defied the desolation around them. The scene was surreal, a vivid contrast to the devastation that had preceded it. The air here was cool and gentle, filled with the soft hum of life emerging anew. In this sanctuary of rebirth, the Mustang paused to drink deeply from a crystal-clear stream that trickled through the clearing. The cool water, pure and untainted, washed away the lingering traces of smoke and fatigue, renewing its strength with every sip. In the reflective silence by the stream, the Mustang's thoughts turned inward. It recalled the quiet moments of connection it had once shared with the one who had cared for it, a bond forged in tenderness and trust. That distant memory mingled with the present, reinforcing a realization that had been growing steadily within. The secret of survival was not solely in the instinct to flee but in the capacity to embrace both pain and hope, to transform adversity into strength. The Mustang's journey through the inferno, its daring leaps and cautious pauses, had revealed a timeless truth, that even amid the fiercest destruction, the seeds of renewal could take root. With the gentle murmur of the stream and the soft rustle of new leaves as its chorus, the Mustang resolved to honor the secret that had sustained it thus far. It would continue on its path, guided not only by the need to escape the wrath of fire but by a deeper purpose, to embody the resilience of nature and to remind the world that within every trial lay the promise of rebirth. Every step forward was a tribute to the wild, to the indomitable spirit that refused to be quenched by the flames of despair. And so, beneath the shimmering canopy of the grove and the watchful gaze of a star-laden sky, the Mustang moved with renewed determination. The journey was far from over, and though the memory of the burning forest still lingered like a distant nightmare, it was tempered by the hope that had blossomed in the heart of the sanctuary. In that sacred union of past and present, of fire and water, the Mustang's survival secret began to reveal itself, a secret that would ultimately leave everyone, human and beast alike, utterly speechless. The night had barely loosened its grip on the land as the Mustang emerged from the tranquil refuge of the grove. Beyond the soft luminescence of that sacred sanctuary lay an expanse where the battle between flame and renewal was far from over. The memory of the burning forest still smoldered in the Mustang's heart, a reminder of past scars and a testament to its relentless spirit. Now, with every measured stride, the creature ventured further into the unknown, driven by the stirring promise of a deeper secret, one that pulsed in harmony with the very rhythms of nature. The terrain shifted once more, transforming into a rugged passage marked by jagged rock formations and valleys carved by ancient rivers. Here, the cooling air mingled with a faint echo of heat, a lingering reminder of the chaos left behind. Each step forward was accompanied by the soft crunch of gravel under hooves, a steady cadence that resonated with the Mustang's inner resolve. The silence of this twilight realm was punctuated only by the distant murmur of water and the occasional whisper of wind carrying tales from a forgotten past. As the Mustang trotted along a narrow path bordered by weathered boulders, it encountered an unexpected barrier, a steep incline, its surface rough and uneven, cloaked in shadows and illuminated only by the pale glow of a hidden moon. The ascent was treacherous, each step a battle against gravity and the remnants of exhaustion that clung to its limbs. Yet, the creature pressed onward, its eyes reflecting an unspoken determination, a promise to not yield in the face of yet another trial. With every determined leap, the Mustang recalled the countless hurdles it had overcome, each one a silent whisper of resilience in a world where survival meant constant reinvention. Midway up the incline, the Mustang paused on a ledge, its breath visible in the crisp night air. From this vantage point, the panorama unfolded like a tapestry woven with threads of despair and hope. Far below, the Wildfire's fury had dimmed to a ghostly glow, its once fierce roar now reduced to the crackle of distant memories. In contrast, the valley before it was bathed in an ethereal silver light, a spectral mirror reflecting the beauty of a world that dared to dream even in darkness. The Mustang's heart pounded with a mixture of awe and trepidation. It sensed that the secret it carried, the silent force nurtured by years of solitude and hardship, was drawing closer to full awakening. Without a moment's hesitation, the Mustang resumed its ascent, each hooffall echoing like a heartbeat in the stillness of the night. The path grew narrower, twisting around ancient outcroppings and disappearing into the embrace of a dense copse of trees. Here, nature's whispers grew louder, the rustle of leaves and the soft murmur of a hidden stream forming a delicate symphony that seemed to speak directly to the creature's soul. In this liminal space between rugged terrain and living forest, the Mustang found itself at the crossroads of past pain and the promise of transformation. A sudden shift in the atmosphere sent a shiver through the Mustang's frame. The wind, once a gentle caress, now carried a hint of urgency, a subtle warning that danger lurked in the shadows. Eyes wide with caution, the Mustang lowered its head, inhaling deeply the mingled scents of petrichor and lingering smoke. Every sense was sharpened, tuned to the natural cadence of the wild. It was in these moments of heightened awareness that the creature felt the most acutely the weight of its secret, a power not merely of instinct, but of a deep, unspoken communion with the elemental forces that governed life itself. Pushing forward, the Mustang entered a narrow corridor where the ancient trees leaned close, their gnarled branches interlocking to form a vaulted canopy overhead. This passageway, both claustrophobic and strangely comforting, seemed to exist outside of time. The interplay of shadows and soft moonlight on the forest floor created an almost otherworldly pattern, a visual echo of the Mustang's inner turmoil and hope. Each step in this passage was a deliberate act of defiance against the forces that sought to constrain and define it. In that enchanted corridor, the creature's thoughts turned to the moments when it had been tethered by pain and neglect, when abandonment had threatened to extinguish its fiery spirit. But here, amid the interplay of darkness and light, it rediscovered a spark of resilience, a realization that the secret it held was not a burden, but a key to unlocking the mysteries of survival and rebirth. The corridor opened into a vast clearing, where nature's resilience was on full display. Here, remnants of charred wood lay scattered like the debris of a forgotten era, yet vibrant patches of green had begun to reclaim the scarred earth. The Mustang stepped into this tableau of renewal with cautious optimism, its hooves treading softly on a carpet of emerging life. The cool, fresh scent of new growth mingled with the distant echo of smoldering ash, a juxtaposition that resonated deeply with the creature's journey. It was here, in this confluence of destruction and genesis, that the Mustang sensed the culmination of its arduous trek. The latent secret that had been kindled by fire and nurtured by solitude was nearing its full expression, a transformative force poised to redefine the boundaries of its existence. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient stone structure, its weathered surface etched with symbols that seemed to pulse with a quiet energy. Though the structure appeared as though it had long been abandoned by time, there was an undeniable sense of purpose in its silent vigil. The Mustang approached it with a mixture of reverence and curiosity, feeling as though the ancient monument was a guardian of the very secret it carried. As it circled the structure, the Mustang's keen eyes caught fleeting reflections in the polished stone, a dance of light that mirrored the duality of its journey, the interplay of flame and water, solitude and communion, despair and hope. Drawing closer to the relic, the Mustang could almost perceive the whispers of past souls etched into the ancient carvings. Each mark, worn smooth by the passage of countless seasons, told a story of resilience, of lives intertwined with the ever-changing rhythms of the natural world. In that quiet moment, the Mustang understood that its secret was not solely its own. It was a legacy, a thread woven into the fabric of the wilderness, a secret passed down through generations of creatures who had danced on the edge of oblivion and emerged stronger, forever changed. The realization filled the Mustang with a profound sense of connection, a bond that transcended the solitude of its past and anchored it to the eternal cycle of life and rebirth. Under the watchful gaze of the ancient structure, the Mustang lingered in a state of quiet reflection. The night seemed to hold its breath, as though waiting for the next chapter in a saga that had been written by the hands of time and nature itself. The creature's eyes, still glistening with the remnants of past trials, began to radiate a subtle luminescence, a silent acknowledgment that the secret of its survival was ready to be unveiled. In that hushed pause, the Mustang felt the stirring of a power that was as old as the earth, a power that promised to heal, to transform, and to illuminate even the darkest corners of despair. With a final, resolute glance at the ancient stone and the clearing that bore witness to its journey, the Mustang turned its gaze toward the horizon. The first light of dawn was beginning to touch the edges of the sky, heralding a new day filled with uncertainty and promise. Every shadow that had once loomed large was now softened by the gentle caress of the coming light. The journey that had begun in the heart of a burning forest, fraught with peril and despair, had led the Mustang to this sacred moment of transition, a moment when the secret of survival, long hidden in the depths of instinct and memory, was poised to unfold in a way that would redefine not only its own destiny but the very essence of life in the wild. With a steady, unwavering pace, the Mustang moved forward, carrying within it the silent promise of transformation. Each step was imbued with the legacy of those who had come before, a quiet rebellion against the forces that sought to chain it to a past of abandonment and pain. The secret was no longer a mere flicker in the darkness. It was a radiant beacon that burned with the promise of renewal. And as the first hues of dawn began to paint the world in gentle pastels, the Mustang's journey continued, an eternal dance between the remnants of a fiery past and the boundless possibilities of a new beginning. With the first hues of dawn still painting the horizon, the Mustang pressed onward, its every step a testament to the transformative power of survival and renewal. The soft glow of early morning bathed the land in gentle pastel light, dispelling the lingering shadows of night and the memories of a burning past. In the crisp air, where embers of despair had given way to the promise of rebirth, the Mustang's silhouette moved like a living emblem of resilience, a creature reborn from the crucible of nature's fiercest trials. The landscape, once ravaged by unyielding flames, now whispered secrets of rejuvenation. Tiny buds emerged where char had reigned supreme, and delicate wildflowers began to peek through the remnants of scorched earth. The once relentless heat softened into a caressing warmth as the sun's rays touched the land, heralding a new era where destruction and creation danced together in a delicate balance. Every step the Mustang took was now imbued with the quiet triumph of nature's eternal cycle, a journey from the depths of oblivion toward a future replete with hope and possibility. As the Mustang trotted along a winding trail that meandered between clusters of ancient trees, it paused atop a gentle rise. From this vantage point, the panoramic vista revealed a world transformed, a forest recovering its luster, streams glistening like ribbons of silver in the light of dawn, and distant mountains standing as silent witnesses to the passage of time. In that reflective moment, the Mustang seemed to merge with its surroundings, a living bridge between the raw force of the past and the tender promise of the future. In the quiet solitude of this newfound serenity, the creature's inner journey reached a profound crescendo. The secret it had harbored, the power to not only survive but to harness the very essence of life itself, now shone with unmistakable clarity. It was a gift born of hardship and a lesson etched in every scar and every stride, that even in the heart of devastation, life finds a way to reassert itself, to transform loss into strength, and to sculpt beauty from chaos. This revelation stirred the Mustang's spirit, igniting a fervent desire to share its tale of rebirth with the world. It was as though the wild itself had whispered an invitation to all who had ever felt the sting of abandonment or the weight of despair, a call to rise, to embrace change, and to celebrate the indomitable force of nature within every living soul. As the creature ventured further along the rejuvenated trail, the natural world around it seemed to conspire in a harmonious symphony of renewal. The gentle babbling of a nearby brook, the rustle of tender leaves in the soft breeze, and the distant cry of a morning bird all wove together into a poetic melody, a reminder that every end is but the precursor to a new beginning. In this sacred moment, the Mustang's journey transcended the physical realm. It became an ode to the timeless interplay of creation and destruction, of suffering and healing, of solitude and connection. Now, as the day fully broke and the sky was adorned with the vibrant hues of sunrise, the Mustang's story reached its resolute conclusion. Its journey through the inferno and the sanctuary of the grove had not only carved a path of survival but had also kindled a luminous secret, a truth that whispered of transformation and hope, even in the bleakest of moments. The creature had become a living testament to the resilience of the wild, an enduring symbol that the scars of yesterday can bloom into the triumphs of tomorrow. At this pivotal moment, as the Mustang trotted along the dew-kissed trail, a gentle voice resonated, a voice that carried not only the echoes of nature's timeless wisdom but also an invitation for all who had witnessed this journey to join in the celebration of life's enduring spirit. In a tone both earnest and uplifting, the narrator's words wove themselves into the very fabric of the scene. If you have found inspiration in the relentless spirit of this wild Mustang, if the flames of its past have ignited a spark of hope within you, then let your heart beat in unison with nature's enduring rhythm. Join us on this journey of transformation and discovery, where every challenge is met with courage, every setback blossoms into strength, and every moment is a chance to embrace the wild, untamed beauty of life. The camera of our collective imagination pans slowly over the resplendent vista, inviting viewers to absorb the awe-inspiring renewal of a world once consumed by fire. As the Mustang disappears into the radiant embrace of the day, its legacy lingers like a promise that in the heart of nature there exists an eternal power to overcome, to evolve, and to inspire. And if this story has touched your soul, the voice continues with gentle urgency. Please support our journey by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Thunder Hoofbeats. Let the spirit of the wild resonate far and wide. Hit the bell icon so that you never miss a beat of the stories that celebrate the raw power and majestic beauty of nature. Together, we forge a community that honors every hoofbeat of life's magnificent journey. With that heartfelt call to action, the narrative gently shifts from a tale of solitary survival to a shared celebration of hope and resilience, a reminder that while the Mustang's journey may have been born of isolation, its message is one of unity and collective strength. In the soft glow of the morning, as the first birds welcomed the new day and the forest hummed with the promise of endless beginnings, the viewer was left with an indelible sense of wonder, a call to live boldly, to cherish every scar as a mark of growth, and to always seek the light even when the world seems shrouded in darkness. And so, as the final notes of this cinematic journey fade into the gentle rustling of leaves and the murmur of a rejuvenated earth, the story of the Mustang lives on, a timeless reminder that every trial carries within it the seeds of transformation, and every ending heralds the dawn of a new, vibrant beginning. Thank you for joining this extraordinary journey. Remember, every moment in nature's wild tapestry tells a story of resilience, hope, and rebirth. Like, share, subscribe to Thunder Hoofbeats, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another tale that stokes the fire of adventure and the beauty of survival.